The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
You know, when you're ranked fourth in the country and you're undefeated, after 8 ball games, you've done something right. And I've done a bunch of things right. They'll be the most physical challenge we've had all year. And they're just a really a well-coached, very talented football team, and it's going to be a great opportunity for us.
Just how defensively, that's been their hallmark these past few years. What do they do that stands out to you to enable them to hold teams to just 13 points a game?
Well, they're just they're relentless and and talented, and got a scheme that they really believe in, and don't give up big plays, and one of the best things that they've got is an offense that holds the ball forever, so they're not on the field that much, and that makes better when, you know, in possession time of the football is so weighted to your side, you know, and so so that makes a difference, no question.
How much does that close win over North Greenville, where you had your backs against the walls down 21, help refocus things for this stretch run?
Well, one of these days, last 2 weeks we've enjoyed getting behind and then trying to catch up. One of these days, especially for an old coach's heart, it would be best to not do that. But we have been very fortunate to have a group of kids that kept fighting, and I don't think they ever lost faith that they were going to come back and win the ball game, and that's I like that, because that's the way life is. In life, where there's going to be some things that gets us behind, gets us in trouble, as far as normal events in life, and we have to fight through it and find out what we're all about. And so we're getting a lot of practice on that right now.
I know you've never been a coach who touts revenge as a motivator. How do you keep that from happening against a team that beat you twice last season?
Well, because it's not about them, it's about us. And we're not even talking about them. That's not the issue at all. We know we're playing against a very talented football team. We don't have to convince anybody of how we need to play against these guys, but we're not talking about them. That's not the issue. We're playing against us as far as we're concerned.
LR, offensively, it seems like Gerard Spears has been there for forever and a day. What's he do as a wing back, a slot back, however you want to term him?
Oh, he's a complete player. He don't mind getting his nose dirty, getting down in there blocking, and he's a good receiver, even though he hadn't had a whole lot of opportunities this year. But he's got great speed, and they try to get the ball to him on the edge, and he can run. In fact, I think he's a conference track champion in the 100-yard dash. So that tells you he can run.
When you look at an offense like a Lenoir-Rhyne that really likes to pound the football up the middle, how important is it for you to ensure that your team is disciplined in their assignment? Well,
that's in an option football team. You better be who's supposed to have who better do it, or you've given up a touchdown. And we've done that a couple of times this year. We've given up a touchdown, an easy touchdown. And that's one thing in this ball game that we can't do. We can't give up. We can't give up an easy one.
Some of the defensive players have said that it's a mental thing with them over the last couple of weeks. The first half, they're thinking too much. The second half, they go out, they have fun, and they really look good in the second halves of the last 2 ball games. How do you make sure that they go out with that mentality that they have in the second half for the entire game this week?
I don't know. If I had an answer to that, I'd ball it up and I could make a whole bunch of money, of trying to figure out what makes people think the way they think. We put ourselves in a bind a whole lot with stinking thinking, and that's we can't get much more simpler than we're playing football right now, and so we're just trying to make it real simple so we don't have to think and we can run and play. So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. You'll have to ask somebody smarter than me.
Offensively, you play a Lenoir-Rhyne defense that's very aggressive, that likes to get in the backfield and likes to make stops. What does the offensive line have to do this week to ensure that they're able to stop that front seven?
Well, we got to be in attack mode. You know, it's not about Lenoir-Rhyne attacking us. It's about us attacking them. And so we got to be in attack mode, and we've got to just execute the offense. The good thing about our offense is that it is an attack offense, and so it should be a real fun game.
In terms of passing the football, you weren't very effective over the weekend. And a couple weeks ago, you barely threw the football at all. What do you need to see out of the passing game this weekend to see some improvement and to maybe stop some of that aggressiveness from the Bears?
Well, we just got to be a whole lot more. We got to execute. You know, it don't matter what you call. You know, you got to execute what you call. And when you start off 0-4 with 2 interceptions, then you start saying, we better hold on to this ball or we're going to get beat. And so, you know, you do what it takes to win. You know, it don't matter whether you throw it or run it or what it, you know, you call the play, they got to execute it. And then that's the name of the game.
So if it meant shotgun 4 wide every snap this Saturday, would you do it?
Do what? Say what?
If you had to win, you had to go shotgun 4 wide every snap.
If you could tell me how to win with shotgun 4 wide, we'll do that. Yes. There's a lot of coaches losing their jobs in shotgun 4 wide. Okay.
Focus a little more defensively on Lenoir-Rhyne, an All-American and Blake Baker, the Botts brothers, again, 2 players it seems like have been there forever and a day. What stands out to you about those stars in the front seven for the Bears?
Well, they're experienced. Number one, they're all seniors, and Baker plays with the best leverage of anybody I've seen in a long, long time. He's just an explosive kid that, you know, he's undersized, but he just plays with unbelievable leverage. And then you know, the Botts brothers have, you know, they've been unbelievable as far as making plays against us and everybody else. And I know 2 or 3 times in the past we've had everybody blocked except one of them, and they've made the play down the field that's kept us from scoring a touchdown.
2 safeties are new, but they're both D1 transfers. Chris Schaefer comes to the Bears from Appalachian State, and Marcus Kincaid from Eastern Illinois. What have they done to replace arguably 2 of the best players in the South Atlantic Conference last season in Michael Green and Meyer Nolan?
Well, they've done pretty good. They're not as experienced as those 2 were, you know, in what Lenoir-Rhyne's scheme was, but they're bigger and making a lot of plays for them. I think they're the 2nd and 3rd leading tacklers on the team, so 2 good football players.
What about the job that Ian Shields has done there in his first year to pick up exactly where Coach Houston left off?
It's pretty amazing, really, that come in with a whole new staff, I think with the exception of one, and didn't look like they missed a beat, you know, and I think he was smart enough to keep a whole lot of things the same. Of course, you know, he'd always been a wishbone guy or a wing bone or what you call it. He's always been one of those, and so that was nothing new to him. And he's still doing basically the same things, and defensively they're still using the same people in the same places as they did last year. So he's a pretty smart coach.
Usually you're used to playing a team once a year, but here you come into your 5th meeting with the Bears in 3 seasons. How does that change the preparation for a game when you have that large of a sample size over that short of a period of time, or this is the 5th time you've seen this team in 3 seasons?
Well, the fact that it's a coaching change changes a whole lot of the advantage that you probably would have had. Even though they're basically lining up the same way, if you watch it real close, there's quite a few changes. And so you have to So we've lost some of our advantage on that, and they got a whole lot more advantage than we do on that part.